Hello! Today I'm going to make some old-fashioned comfort food. I'm going to make my fancy biscuits. I got this recipe about 20 years ago from Sally Brennan, but unfortunately, according to my grandmother, it's a little too fancy. It's not the traditional biscuits that she used to make that just use lard. This recipe uses eggs and butter, so that was a little too fancy for my grandmother, but sorry Nanny, this is the recipe my kids grew up with. So Sarah and KJ, this is for you. And I'd also like to say thanks to my sister. She delivered us fresh eggs this morning. Thank you, Kimmy. Anyway, I hope you guys like the recipe. Here's the recipe we're going to use today. It's only half the recipe that I normally make. We are in self-isolation right now because of the pandemic, and it's just, we have lots of time on our hands, so if I want to make more biscuits, I can make more biscuits later. I won't be having anybody drop in to share these biscuits with, and I certainly won't be delivering them to any neighbors today, so I'll make just enough for Howie and I. I hope you like this video, and I hope your family's doing well. So I've already gone ahead and put 2 cups of flour in the bowl. And to that, I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now we'll just mix that all together. I have half a cup of butter here. It's cooled in the fridge. You want the butter to be cold when you mix it in with your flour, because when you turn your oven on, your oven's going to be really hot, and you put your biscuits in there. There's little pockets of butter throughout your biscuits, and that gives it that little poof, and that's what gives your biscuits their flaky rise. When you mix the butter in with the biscuits, you want to get a crumbly, oatmeal-y texture. Because you want to have those little beads of butter throughout your biscuits to give them that fluff. I chop it up to make it a little bit easier on myself, and then I use my hands. You shouldn't, it's better if you use a pastry cutter to do this, or sometimes you can use a potato masher. You want your butter to stay nice and cool. Make sure your hands are nice and clean if you're going to do this by hand. Just kind of squeeze it like that. And it's starting to come together. It's a little bit chunky here. Anyway, I'm just going to keep working it. This is kind of fun too. It's a fun feeling. So that looks pretty good there. Got your little flakes of butter. You can see them in there. Yeah, little crummy. Okay, so now we're going to add some wet ingredients to this. I have one of my sister's eggs. Well, not one of her eggs, but an egg from one of her chickens.
One for fresh egg.
One of her fresh eggs, delivered fresh this morning. Thank you, Kimmy. We'll put that in our cup. Give it a little stir. We just add enough milk to take it up to the 1 cup line. We'll just go ahead and add that to our mixture. So the batter is really, really wet, and Some might call it a little chunky. Because this batter is so wet, you have to make sure you have lots of flour set aside for when you roll it out. Put a little on your rolling pin. Okay. When I was given this recipe back in probably 1999 or 2000, I was told very specifically that you only knead the dough no more than 20 times. 1, 2, 18, 19, 20. So that dough looks really good. It's got a nice little yellow tinge to it. It's like a fluffy little butter ball. So now we're going to roll out our dough. Oh my gosh, I have to turn the oven on. So turn your oven on to 425. Okay. So I rolled this out to about 1/2 inch, and now I'm going to use my handy dandy cookie cutter to cut some biscuits. Okay. I get some flour on my cutter, and away we go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and roll out the rest of this dough. And you get the one ugly biscuit at the end of the batch. The special biscuit. Okay, we're ready to toss our biscuits into the oven. And I think it's about 10 minutes for these. We'll just keep a close eye on them until they're nice and toasty brown on the top. And now we wait. The biscuits are ready! Yay! It's been about 10 minutes. Oh, look at them! They're toasty and brown. Nice color on the bottom, and it smells really nice in here. And look at how ugly that one is. It turned out perfect. Okay, we'll get them onto the cooling rack. Oh, it's beautiful and ugly. Yum! Okay, I'm gonna get some butter and we're gonna have a couple of these. These look really, really good. Oh, they smell so good. Oh, the butter is melting. Oh. Do you want the top or the bottom?
Don't matter.
No? I'm going to give you the top because I'm going to be selfish and take the crunchy bottom.
Looks good.
Oh my god. Mwah. They're delicious.
They are. You're the best.
I know. And you are?
The second best.
Make some biscuits. They're delicious. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you take the time to make some biscuits. They're delicious. Sarah, KJ, Mommy loves you. Mwah.